Welcome to class. Good job. Okay, so now bring your feet to a wide second position. We're going to just start out with our plie series, adding in our spinal movements. I'm hugging a giant tree with my hands. Maybe fingers are interlaced. But the most important part of the arm position is that my shoulder blades and shoulders are drawn down my back. Yes. So we bend the knees and we stand up tall. Good job. We bend the knees and stand tall. Now make it fluid. This little series comes from the reformer and it's down and up. You create your own work. When you're really thinking about it, you're using the floor, you're using your legs, and you're connecting up through your pelvic floor. So it's inhale down, exhale, squeeze and lift. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now we're going to add some arms. Arms open, and you hug your tree. Arms open, and you hug your fox. Arms open, and you hug your coyote. Inhale, exhale. Good job. Keep going. Inhale, exhale. Good. Now just one arm goes out. Bring it back in. Other arm out and in. Good. I had some crazy dreams last night. Really vivid. There were two strange men at this party, and we were dancing and dancing, and then we went swimming in the swimming pool, and one of them was swimming ahead of me, and I was like holding on to his torso, and then the other man was holding on to my legs. So we were swimming like three people swimming. It was very odd. And then when I woke up, I had the sensation that it was me carrying two men. And I thought, I guess it must be my husband and my son. Isn't that weird? What does that mean? Good, now you're gonna look as you open and back in. I can't wait till August 3rd, Tuesday, when you can share your dreams with me and not just listen to my crazy dreams. And open and in. Good, trying to coordinate the movement, right? In Pilates, we're always working the nervous system. That's that smooth, articulated movement. And the smoother the movement, the more you're working your whole body. Good. Woo-hoo. Open and back. Good, now again, both and in and both and in. Last time, and stay low as you don't feel it in your knees. Maybe I'm gonna widen my feet out an inch. Yeah, that feels better on my knees. Now I'm gonna reach, and I'm trying to reach with my rib cage, not just with my hand. I reach, and I reach, my eyes stay straight ahead. Reach, and reach, oh yes, reach, and reach, and reach, and reach. Good, now the arms bend and straighten. Bend, I go as low as I like, straighten as high as I can, all the way down. The sensation here is like you're sliding down a wall, and then you decide to stand up. Slide down a wall, and slide up. Slide down the wall, stand up, slide down the wall. Last one, up. Good. Now bend your knees only. Arms go side. Notice how one arm goes down, one arm up. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Good. Both arms up. And then change. One arm up and one arm down. Really side bending, really reaching. And then pulse, pulse, pulse. You're having little movement in your hands, little movement in your ribs to add a little extra. Good. And then, as if you're holding a TheraBand or a giant pink ribbon, you're making big arcs up and over the head. And I'm keeping my knees low. My lower body is really steady. If the weights are too much, meaning they aggravate your shoulder or your back, you ditch the weights at any time. These little weights to me today feel great. So I'm going to continue here because I need this side movement. And we do it for 8. Was Bana always yelling at you, let's do more side movement? No, Bana's not a yeller. Oh, good thing Jen's back. She can yell at us. I'm not too much of a yeller either. Oh, and side. Good. And it's 3 more. Really open up through the armpit, through the side of your body. And let's do 2 more from here. And then make this the last one. Good job. Okay, now my arms are coming up for bicep curls. And as I do the bicep curl, I'm going to go down an inch and up an inch. But notice I didn't fully lengthen my legs. It's down and up. So I really stay in my thigh. And then as I'm doing this easy movement here, I'm kind of considering, could I use my glutes anymore? Could I use my hamstrings anymore? Could I get more toward the back of my body? And if I did, would that feel maybe like there's more weight on the heels of my feet? Maybe my toes even lift up. Good. Okay, now stay low. Arms stay still. Final little piece. It's lift the heels, lower the heels. Lift the heels, lower the heels. Good. Now as you lift, lengthen arms. As you come down, lower down. It's very controlled. Ta-ta. It's lift and lower. Yes, we can. Lift and lower. And lift arms, lower heels. Lift arms, lower heels. We get 3. I know we can. Down. And 2. Good. Can you feel how this is strengthening through the knee joint? I can. Good. Now, last tiny part. Didn't I say that a second ago? Okay. It's 1 and the other, and you're doing a little jog just because it's fun. And fun. 1 heel lifts, 1 knee down in the wide second if you can. Cha-cha. Cha-cha. Good. Good job. Yes. And yes. Yes, we can. Okay, good. Last thing. What? You said it 3 times, Jen. Okay, my heels are lifted. I'm just balancing. I'm just balancing. And I'm going to hold it. And my feet, everything feels shaky. My thighs feel shaky. My knees feel shaky. Everything feels a little shaky. That's a great feeling. Feeling shaky. Feeling shaky. Yes. And then drop the heels. Stand tall. Good work. Jog it out. Jog it out. Ah. Okay, beautiful people. I'm trading my weights for a TheraBand. I just want us to do 2 really great rotator cuff exercises. So, heels are together. I feel for my body that my heels can stay connected, my inner knees can stay connected, and my inner thighs can stay connected. But for some of you, different body shapes, maybe your heels are a little bit apart. So just noticing, yes, this is for me. You know the reasoning why we're doing it, to really fire up through the pelvic floor. Feel free to modify. Okay, TheraBand here. Oh, mine's really twisted up. Okay, it's up. My hands are up, my elbows are down my sides. I'm feeling my neck growing longer, and I pull. And I pull. And I pull. Good, so I've got just enough TheraBand here that I'm already feeling something in my shoulders, but it's little. It's light. It's a little tiny rotator cuff strengthening exercise. And yes, if I really pay attention, I can feel my back muscles. Good job. Okay, now you get the little cadence. You got just the right amount of give. And you're going to lift up 1 foot without sinking. No sinking allowed. You don't sink into your hip. You lift up. And if you can, you're going to place that leg that's now in kickstand up somewhere along the inside of your calf or maybe even thigh. And it's small little pull. Small little pull. We got it. We got this. Yes, we do. Stand up straighter. Even for me, and I'm the professional, I feel like I want to either lean or sink. Don't do that. Keep standing tall like you are the tallest tree in the forest. Pull and pull and pull and pull. Good job. Now keep going as your foot comes down. Find again the inner thigh squeeze and just 5 more, 4 more, 3 more. Armpits stay glued to your sides and hopefully the elbows pretty much also. The last one, hold it wide, stand tall, breathe in and out. Very nice. Now we do the overhand grip. We got to do one more set to balance out our body. Overhand grip, same setup, and we pull. And at first we're just practicing, like, is that enough TheraBand? Should I give myself a little more? Should I make this side harder? You know, how does that feel? And then once you feel, yes, I'm strong, I got the right moves, I have the good form, that's when you think about your other leg, and without collapsing, you bring that up to kickstand. Now, it's perfectly fine to keep it in kickstand, but if you feel, yeah, I can go to the next level, you're going to take that foot, place it on the inside of your calf, ankle, maybe thigh. Yes! And then we keep going, good, and you got to keep giving yourself those cues. Do not collapse, keep standing tall. You're the tallest, most elegant tree in the forest. Woo-hoo! I feel a little shaky today. Yeah, I do. I need mat class just as much as you do. It's crazy. Have you ever taken a break from mat class for a couple of weeks or even a month? You know, you've been doing other things, but not mat class. It shows. Your strength, eventually, it takes a while, but after a couple of weeks, you start to feel like, oh my God, my hips are getting weak. My balance is not as good. At least for me, I really notice it. So I'm so happy to be back. Good, let's see if we can do a few more without collapsing. Thinking of the tall, elegant sequoia. Good, now keep going with your upper body movement, but place your foot back down, and it's small, just for 5. Shoulder blades down your back, squeeze your inner thighs. Good, and 2. Last one, and we did it. Woohoo! Good, I'm gonna stretch my shoulders up and back, and stretch my shoulders up and back. I don't do this enough if I'm not teaching mat class. In fact, I haven't done the shoulder stretch in a month. Feels so good. Okay, people, that was lovely. Now let's come on down to the mat. Our first setup, I'm going to use the little weights just for the first exercise and the ball, and I'll reposition us. Meaning the computer. That felt good. I like our warm-ups. Okay, great job. So, TheraBand is off to the side for now. You're coming up to a seated position with the ball between your inner thighs. The weights, if you want them, are nearby. They're going to actually help us stay out of our neck. They're not necessarily for arm work. Arrange your clothing, and then for me, I need to press a little bit more on my big toe side of my foot. Squeeze the ball a little bit more, so I'm energizing through that inner line of the body. And I need to pull myself up. I recognize that I'm in a little bit of a slump. So I have to hold on to my bones and then pull myself up. From this position, and I'm really upright, I feel like I'm against a wall. I do take a moment. This is really important setup in this exercise. If we just sat down and went into the exercise, we wouldn't really be doing Pilates. So just to let you know, the setup is super important. Okay, I'm squeezing the ball hard. I'm sitting up really tall. And I do recognize for me today that this is not easy. Some days I get into the right position and it's easy. Just sitting upright like this, I feel like a little bit of work in my low back. I feel a little bit more work than usual in my inner thighs. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here. My arms are long. It's as if I'm squeezing a baby coyote, a cute one, between my hands. And I am sitting tall. I am breathing. Yeah, and I do feel like, wow, this position is a little bit of work. That's because I haven't been doing mat class for a while. So great, such a great feeling though. Okay, now I grab my little weights and I reach my arms long, and the weights give me a little bit of contrast, so it makes it a little easier as I take a breath in, and then on the exhale, I slowly slink my back down. I slink down one bone at a time, coming all the way down. Good job. My head actually relaxes. The arms come over the shoulders, and I feel my shoulders sinking into the socket. Yes. Take a breath in here. At the end of the inhale, the arms start the movement, and then exhale as you pick up the head, squeeze the ball as much as you like. It's going to give you a little bit of extra, and you roll yourself all the way up. Oh, that felt great. Let's do it again. Inhale, exhale, down. Inhale, pause, and then start the movement with the arms, exhaling as you squeeze and roll that spine all the way up. Good. This one is for articulation of the spine, particularly, but you might notice on this bent knee roll up, or sometimes called the roll back, we are working every part of the body. Our feet are engaged, our ankles are engaged, our shins, our whole leg, our pelvis, our pelvic floor, everything. This is a full body exercise. Good job. And I'm trying to keep my arms straight out so my arms are pretty steady, and it helps my neck. Why does it help my neck, Jen? It helps my neck because it engages my back muscles. My rhomboids are like knit together. So I feel the shoulder blades are connecting and active. And when I'm in my arms and back, then my head and neck don't have to work very hard. They can go along for the ride. So this is a lovely way to start if, like me, you have not been in mat class. But if you're like Bana and Joan and Shelly and a few others, you're like, okay, this is the easiest thing ever. Good for you. Definitely good for you. And I'm glad you had the banana stickers. That made me smile. I haven't seen that since I was a kid. Although I think one time I went into Deluxe and I put the banana sticker on my head and walked around. I might have had a little tiny bit of cannabis-infused oil that day. But anyway, nobody laughed. They just thought it was stupid. So I took it off after a little while. Okay, too much information, Jen. So we sit up tall and we release. Great. I'm going to put my little weights down. I'm reading a great book. It's called Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. Oh my God, if you have not read Great Circle, you definitely need to read it. We'll talk about it later. So last night when I was reading, she talks about the kooky ant that you have. So we're sitting up tall. We're going to slowly roll all the way down. Good. Let your arms come down to your sides. Pull your feet in. And now we just do the opposite roll. We roll from the tailbone and we lift up to bridge and we roll down. We roll up and roll down on this version. It's a rolling bridge up and a rolling bridge down. So she was talking about her kooky ant, or she referred to the kooky ant with the dyed red hair and oh gosh, I can't remember how she described her. The dyed red hair and the crazy earrings and the something else. But anyway, it gave me a visual of, oh yeah, we know who the kooky ant is, right? And I thought for a second, do I want to be the kooky ant or not? And I decided not really. I don't want to be the kooky ant. But by the time I get to be the kooky ant, I probably won't care. Okay, I guess I'm not there yet. Or maybe you're the kooky ant and you don't even know it. I probably am. You're probably the cookie head and you don't even know. You don't have to dye your hair to be kooky. But banana stickers on your forehead, I think that's a little kooky. Okay, people, we got the rolling bridges in. Now we're going to clasp the hands behind the head. That's it. And I want you to practice your lift. So we're going to lift up. Lift a little bit higher than you think you can, and then down. We're going to take this each time. This is a little progression series that we're doing. Each time we're going to be lifting up a little bit higher. But if you can, you're lifting above your shoulder blades. So sometimes it's helpful for me to lift and then a little higher as I squeeze my ball and down. That always works. Let's do it again. Lift a little higher and down. Keep going. Lift. Take it higher and down and lift. A little higher and down and lift. A little higher and down and lift. A little higher and down. Just 3 more. Lift. Take it higher and down. Lift. Are you clearing your shoulder blades? And down and lift. A little higher and down. Last one. Lift. Take it higher and down. Yay. Now, second set for bridges. Arms at your sides. Nice wide shoulders. Feet can be wherever they're comfortable, but squeeze your ball. I want you to lift up, and it's 3 ball squeezes. But first, are you on your shoulder blades? Are your hips lifted? Are you pressing out with your knees and your shins? I want you in that perfect bridge. Sometimes when we're not thinking about it, we lift all the way up to our cervical spine. This is not a Pilates bridge. It feels great, but this is a Pilates bridge. Down with shoulder blades snuggled into the earth. Yes, and then the lift and the lift. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, and then lower the spine down. So we lift up, 1 fell swoop, find the line, and then 1 squeeze, 2 squeezes, 3 squeezes, lower down. Good job. It's lift, 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower it down. Keep going. Lift, 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower down. Just keep breathing. And lower it down. Good job. Again, lift. 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower it down. Again, lift. 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower it down. Again, lift. And 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower it down. Again, lift. And 1, 2, 3 squeezes, lower it down. Last one, lift. 1, 2, 3 squeezes and lower it down. Perfect. Now legs pop off to tabletop. Check that your knees are right over your hips and your shins are pretty parallel to the floor, and give that ball a very firm squeeze. Get your ball right between your inner thighs. Yes. Now the hands come behind the head for this version. Yep. And we're going to lengthen the spine. So wiggle yourself into the longest spine that you can, thinking about your spine as a living creature, so that you're lengthening out through the crown of your head and down through your tail. Taking a breath in, exhale, lift up, bring everything in, and it's 3 crunches. And as you crunch, you're lengthening up and over your knee, and you're squeezing your ball for 3. And we lower the head down, legs come in, legs plug into the hips. Yes, here we go. It's lift and squeeze, 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 and down, and lift. Squeeze the ball as you lift a little higher, 3 times, and down. Again, lift, and 1, 2, 3, and down, and lift. 1, 2, 3, and down, and lift. 2, 3, and down. I think I changed the rhythm, but that's okay. And down, and lift. 2, 3, and down, and lift. 2, 3, and down. Last one, lift. 2, 3, and down. Good job. Slowly lower your feet back down to the ground. Arms come down to your sides. We're going to attempt to do the single leg bridge once we get up there. And it's a little challenging for the entire back of the body. So I encourage you to think about squeezing the ball. Pelvic floor muscles are engaged, and that means that you're threading your low back muscles together. When you feel pelvic floor muscles engaged, back is engaged. So taking a minute to find that deep connection. Arms are at our sides, and we lift and lower, and lift and lower. Good. At first here, we're just practicing staying connected. We're going to do a couple of these hip lifts, remembering your shoulder blades are relaxed, your hips are lifted as high as you can. There's energy shooting through the meniscus. So you're really feeling like it's a big lift and a lower, a big smooth lift and lower. Good. Now on the last one, we stay. Good work. I'm going to start with my left leg. You can start with whatever leg you want, but just pay attention for a second to find out where your feet are. Where your feet slightly turned out, you do need them to be in a parallel foot position. Excellent. Now, lengthen whatever leg you want without letting your hips sink at all. It's like a magic trick. Waha! You got it? Good. Now we're going to do 10 squeezes of the ball. It's 10, 9. They're little squeezes. Good. Feel the back of your body working. Good. It's 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set that foot down. Find your form. Let's do 3 hip lifts. We go down and up, down and up. That wasn't so bad. Down and up and stay. Find your deep connections. Opposite leg, the feet are parallel. Opposite leg shoots long. Nothing else changes. We're going to squeeze our ball for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set your foot down. Roll that spine all the way down. Great. Let's do a little supine twist and then our last little flexion for this series. The legs come into the chest. Give them a squeeze and a little rock and roll. Since I've been riding my bike and hiking and running, I am not doing enough mat Pilates. I've noticed that the back of my legs are not as strong as the front of my legs in 1 month. I noticed that there's the front of my legs, my quads that I mainly use for riding are not quite as strong as the back. That's why it's so important to keep ourselves balanced with our mat classes. Yes. Interesting to notice. Okay, so for supine twist, arms are relaxed, legs are in tabletop. We inhale and drop the legs to one side. Exhale, we bring back to center, lightly squeezing the ball. Eyes stay on the ceiling. Inhale, dropping the legs to one side. Exhale, lightly squeezing the ball, bringing it back to center. You want to think like you have an 18-inch waist here. And as you squeeze the ball and you bring your legs back, you're really activating right through the smallest part of your waist. Inhale and then exhale. Good. Inhaling, dropping to one side. Exhale, bringing back to center. Inhale, dropping to one side. And exhale, back to center. Good work. Okay. Last part, we're going to move into teasers. And then we'll try to add on to that. We'll see how it goes. I've got the ball here right between my ankles. And it feels like, okay, I've been using the ball all class basically, and been, you know, really warming up and working the inner thigh, so this continues that. And then on this one, the legs are in tabletop position to start with. Arms are straight up to the sky. You could imagine holding your little weights if that's helpful, or a stick, or your coyote pup. So there's some kind of energy there. Taking a breath in to prepare. On the exhale, start with the arms, then the legs. So it's arms and legs, arms and legs, arms and legs. It's very important to do that before we lift our head. Let's practice one more time. It's arms and then the legs and then the head. Yes. And then we keep coming, keep coming. It's like slow motion, slow motion, slow motion. Oh yeah, and we get the first one. The first one's probably awkward. That's okay. We got it. We're balanced on our sacrum. We try to find our form. Legs are lengthened as if a burly grizzly bear is pulling on my toes, and my arms are pressing down here. I take an inhale, and then I exhale, and I come down as smoothly as I can, and I return to my starting place. Then let's do another one in slow motion as well. So it's the arms, then the legs, and the head. We come up slowly, slowly. Good. The first one is a little challenging, so is the second. Find your form. Woohoo! And then coming down. Good. Now we add a little bit of speed, but it's still arms, legs, head, neck, and shoulders. Woo. I'm using the thrust of my legs today to help me up. That's fine. That's a good way to do it. Arms, legs, and I'm using the thrust of my legs to activate through my core. Yeah, it would be more ideal in the eyes of Joseph Pilates if I didn't have to use my legs, but that's okay. I'm getting up there. Woo, I got 3 more. Man, I have not been doing my teasers. Up. And did I say that we were going to do bicycle teasers? Let's save that for another day. Those are really challenging. Woo. Good, and then one more. Isn't it fun to see your teacher struggling a little too? Ooh. And then coming all the way down. Yes! Woo. That was great. Okay, let your whole body relax for a second. I'm going to place the ball in the crook of my neck. And then I have the big ball today. I'm going to roll just a little bit, so I'm now on the crook of my neck. Yeah. And I let my head drop side, back through center and side. And what I'm actually aiming to stretch today is the sternocleidomastoid, the big ropey muscles on the sides of your neck, scalenes and sternocleido, because those are accessory breathing muscles. So if I can stretch them a little bit, I can get more oxygen. Yeah, we always want more oxygen in our system. That's our healthful Pilates, right? So I drop my head to one side and I breathe. And now that I know what I'm doing, I kind of send some oxygen into the side of my neck. I feel that in my belly. I feel like I got more breath. And then I come back to center and I do it again. Drop the head all the way. Use gravity, right? You're not forcing. And then imagine those muscles, or even touch the muscles on the side of your neck. Huge breath in. Can you get a little bit more oxygen? I got more oxygen. And then back through center. Good, maybe one more time. Maybe you're saying to yourself, you know what, I don't need this today. My neck is great and I don't need more oxygen. I'm perfect. Well, good for you. You get a sticker. But for me, I think it feels great and it actually is very helpful. Yay. Okay. Now, for the very last little part, I think we said last little part 1 million times, so stop saying that, Jen. Okay, I will. The ball goes underneath the feet. You want to have your feet together and your knees together and your inner thighs together. You're squeezing everything. Arms are at your sides. Like I said, I noticed that the back of my legs need extra work. So this is a hamstring toner. Arms are at our sides. We lift up to bridge. And then we slink down. And we're going to do that 2 more times. When you lift up, you push your feet down. Can you feel how your glutes and your hamstrings are definitely a little bit more fired than just regular bridge? I do. Is it challenging for you to keep your inner thighs together? You want to keep those together. And now on the last one, stay lifted. Notice that your shoulder blades are in the mat. Your hips are lifted as high as you can. Energy out through the kneecap. Good. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, pull the ball into you. The movement is 1 inch. We pull in and in. Ball goes toward your butt. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then roll down, lengthen the ball. Really lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Arms come up over the head, lengthen more. Huge breath in. Squeeze the legs together. Even here, we're going to do a roll up, and we get 2 more sets of hamstring toning today. Whoa. Okay, inhale, arms. Exhale, roll up. And try to keep your feet pressed down. It's challenging. Good. And then all the way down. As you come down, could you pull your feet in? Just working on just a little bit of agility here as we come in gracefully. Yeah. Now your feet are together, knees are together, inner thighs are together. Second set. We lift up. We find our form. Inhale. Exhale, ball goes toward the butt. Toward the butt. Good. We do it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly lower the spine down. Arms and legs lengthen. Big breath in. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Arms start the movement on the exhale. Pick up your head. Try to keep your feet pressed into your ball all the way forward. Woo. Good, and then practicing that agility and coordination as you roll down, you take the ball with you. Maybe. Good, last set. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Good, find that perfect bridge. Do you need to lift your hips up a little higher? Can you feel that your hamstrings are 100%? I can. Now we go out an inch and pull in. Pull in. Good. Last set. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly roll that spine all the way down. Lengthen the legs and the arms. Take a giant breath in. Perfect. Now we are going to stretch the hamstrings and do our leg circles, but we're going to do that at the very end of class. From here, what I want us to do is grab a hold of the ball. Good. Bring it into the hands and then roll onto the side of the body. The ball gets pushed away. And we're going to do some side lying work here today. We always do. We always do side lying. Is there one class that I haven't taught side lying? No, never. This is really important part of your body. So let's see what we can do with lengthening the top leg only. Bottom leg can be bent to any degree that it feels like it's comfortable for you and gives you a little ballast. You got it. I want you to try to fire the inner thighs in this position. What? I know it's hard, but think about, can I fire my inner thighs in this position a little bit? Then kind of naturally lengthening through the outside of your body. Everything that's reaching up toward the ceiling is working. I want you to lift that top leg up and lower it down. And the first little set here, this leg, for me it's my right leg, doesn't matter which one you're on, but I want you to really point that foot. Really point that foot. Top leg is pointed. Good. I'm working from my rib cage, and I'm feeling my rib cage right now. It took a couple lifts for it to kick in. It wasn't automatic for me today. I don't know why, maybe because I haven't been doing enough mat work, but it took a couple to kick in. So you're lengthening and lifting your leg. You can bring the pace up a little bit, but you're really firing up here through the ribs. There's this giant connection. The whole side of your body is active. Yes, 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 good. Now flex your foot, keep it very level, meaning it's a parallel foot, good. And if you wanna add a little bit more to it, a little more oomph, if you're like, Jen, this is nothing, I need a little more, in your imagination, add a giant gorilla on your thigh. You're lifting the gorilla and lowering the gorilla. It's 400 pounds, you're lifting and lifting. Can you feel how much that works you? Even it's just in your imagination. Lift and lift. Good, I'm not doing it with the gorilla. Now point and flex and point and flex. Keep going. Point and flex and point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Keep going. Point and flex and point and flex and point and flex. Good. Point and flex and point and flex and lower all the way down. Oh, that felt great. Now, I want you to see if you can lengthen your both legs and then take the top leg that we just worked and bring it forward. For everyone, this will look a little bit different. For some people, maybe it's the knee is on the ground. For other people, they're holding onto their ankle and they're in like a ballet half high toe position. Is there any other way to do this one? I don't know, but try both positions. I think today I might even do this one. Usually I like this one. Yeah, I think I'm okay with this. Okay, so find your position. And now the idea is this back leg is lifting and lifting and lifting. So you're using the inner thigh. I think I like this better because I can see my inner thigh working better. Yeah. Okay, so it's just 10, 9, 8. Notice now my left foot is pointed. My bottom leg is pointed. Yes. Lift, lift. You need a gorilla. If you need a gorilla, get your gorilla on your inner thigh. Lift and lift and lift and lift. Good. Now flex your foot, and we're just doing 10 more. 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and release from there. Yay. Come onto your back. Take the top leg across the other leg, like you're crossing your legs, and then pull those legs in. Give them a nice little hug as best you can. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, ah. Yes, I need this one today. Do you? Yes, I do. Whew. Good job. Okay, shake out your legs like you are a little child. Did anyone who lives in Santa Cruz see the sunset last night? It was so beautiful. There were so many clouds and it went through so many changes and it was bright red, purple. Oh my God, it was gorgeous. I hope you got to see a good sunset lately. Okay, I'm turning around to the other side. And I start with the bottom knee bent, top leg long, and I get my position. I'm really lengthening everything. Then I start with a pointed foot as I lift and lower my leg, and I'm trying to lift from my rib cage, which is very interesting to me because it took like 2 or 3 lifts on the other side, but this side it kicked right in. My hand is on my upper rib cage and I can feel, oh yeah, it's 100% working. And yes, obviously everything on the side of my body is working. Good. Lift and lift and lift and lift. We got to keep the sides of our body strong. Partly that's our superpower. It is keeping the sides of our body strong. Good. Now flex. And it's flexed foot, meaning that you are lifting and lifting and lifting. Very neutral foot, very parallel, very flexed. Good. And then maybe you need the gorilla on this side to create a little extra, little extra, little extra. I honestly don't think, I was just thinking, what if you had a weight here on your leg and you were lifting a 10-pound weight? I don't think so. My legs are super strong. Gosh, I would imagine if I cut off my leg, that sounds horrible, but if I weighed my leg, it would be at least 50 pounds. Do I need any more than 50 pounds? No. 50 pounds is a lot of weight there to lift. Good, now it's point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex, and point and flex. Do you ever have friends that are CrossFit enthusiasts? I don't right now. I've seen so many people when I had my Pilates studio that came in, after being CrossFit enthusiasts for a year or two and they were injured. But that's just what I saw them coming to me. I went to a good CrossFit, so I only have 3 more. Good, last one. Nice. And I took maybe 10 or 12, maybe 15 classes, and I enjoyed it. It's just not my thing. But I had a good trainer, good coach at the Aptos CrossFit. Okay, so now let's bring this front knee somehow forward that works for you. We're working the lower leg inner line. So take a minute to find how that's going to work for you. And then we point that lower leg and we start to lift and lower, lift and lift. Good. Remember that we're not letting it come to the floor. You lift up and then it's an inch from the floor. So you're working it the whole time. It's just 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's flex. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is that all we did on the other side? We didn't do the point and flex. We didn't. We only did 20. Okay, well, I'm just doing a couple more because it feels really good. I need the inner thigh work. Okay, there we go. Now let's roll. I got a few extra in there. Let's roll onto our back. Notice that we got extra hamstrings, extra inner thighs for Jen today. Take that top leg and then cross it over and pull those legs in. This is a little different than number 4, but if you need number 4, yeah, you got number 4. I need this one today. Don't you feel like a million times better after you've exercised, especially with Pilates, and stretched your body out? It takes so much stress off of you. It is so helpful. Even though we're not in the pandemic anymore, you know that there will be more pandemics, but I still feel, I don't know. I was going to say I still feel stressed. Maybe that's just life. Maybe life is just stressful. Yeah, it is. It is. Okay, so now stretch out your legs. Yay. Okay, I'm going to find my TheraBand. Yep. And I'm going to see if I can bring that in and up. And I'm going to start, for me, with my left foot. You can start with either foot that you want. We're going to do some really good stretches today. Man, that was fun. I have so many exercises in my head I wanted to do today. An hour is not enough time. So once you get your TheraBand wrapped around your foot and you're pulling it down, you got to find your contrast, which means in a way that you're trying to create 2 arrows. You push up, you pull down, and that should straighten your knee. That should feel like, oh, I've connected the energy through the entirety of my leg. That's the purpose of the contrast, pushing up and pulling down. Good. Hang here for a few seconds. And then for your body, you're just going to ask yourself today, should I lengthen my other leg? Is that so great? Or is it so great to keep it bent? And it does not matter. You're just asking yourself, what is greater for me today? Good. Then once you find whatever's greater for you, You're going to do small circles, small circles. The circle might be the size of our small ball, and we're imagining the movement of the top of the leg bone in the acetabulum. We're moving the leg bone around. This is hip motion. Hip circles. These are hip circles, not leg circles, hip circles. Good. You can do it 10, 15 times. You just want to get this nice stirring. Synovial fluid. I don't know if there's synovial fluid in that joint, but I believe there is. And then there's all kinds of blood and fluids. You want to get those to the bone. And then reverse. Keep going. Circle and circle and circle. Good job. It doesn't feel like a whole lot, but now that I've been doing it for a moment, I can definitely feel the bone moving around. That's kind of an important awareness training. Can you feel the top of your finger head? Can you feel your bone moving? If not, that's fine, but that would be a great feeling to notice that. Good. Okay, now you're going to do a maximum pull, straightening the knee as much as you can. Push your foot into your TheraBand, and it's down and up just for 8 big ones. Moving hamstring, 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and last 1. Good. Final little part to this side. For me, I have my leg bent, so I'm straightening it. I'm pulling my arms out. I'm getting my whole body involved. Taking a huge inhale and a huge exhale. Perfect. I'm going to open the band and I'm going to change sides. Yeah. Good. I get the contrast of pushing up and pulling down. And I check to see how that feels on this side. Maybe it's different. Maybe I want the leg bent or straight. Trying to work with a straight leg. Then when you find it, it's the small little circles, no bigger than the size of your small ball, or maybe a medium-sized wood-fired pizza, vegetarian, of course. At some point in class, we have to discuss food because food is vital to life, and especially to my life. So yes, of course, we have to use food analogies. It wouldn't be as fun if there were no food mentions. And reverse. I've been eating a lot of eggplant lately. It's so good. Do you love eggplant? Oh, and yesterday, okay, you'll be very proud of me. I found okra at the farmer's market and it looked beautiful. And I've never ever cooked okra. I'm sorry, I just haven't ever cooked okra. It's not one of my favorite vegetables and I just haven't. But I bought it and I looked up just a simple Mediterranean recipe. Olive oil, tiny little bit of onion and garlic, and then you crisp, you fry the okra. You slice them in half and fry them, and then you add at the last minute some fresh red tomatoes. It was fantastic. I ate every single bite of it, and my husband too. So I'm now an okra chef. Isn't that great? Now have you reversed? You gotta do both ways. I'm very proud of myself. If you want, I'll send you a picture. I even took a picture of it. Yes, Joan, I bet you know how to cook okra, but it was my first time. I love my vegetables. Okay, so now we are going to take it down and up. Good job. Whew. Good. So we're almost there, meaning we're almost at the end of class, and I don't understand how 1 hour can go by so fast. I know this though, I do love teaching this class and I love doing Pilates and I love you guys. So let's just stay doing this for as long as we possibly can. We'll be in person at the temple and I can't lie, I'm very excited about it. But we will keep the online versions too because they're very helpful to a lot of you, and why not? Doesn't just press a button, pretty easy. So it's going to be fun. Okay, I don't know if I did more than 8, but our final stretch today, lengthen both legs, Arms reach up and out. Take one or maybe two really deep breaths. Oh, yes. Nice work today, people. A moment of practicing presence. Good. Yes. Woohoo! So proud of you. Yay! That was fun. Very fun.